Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class, which is from Canto 1, Chapter 17, Text 42. So the class will be given by Anasuya Mataji, ISKCON, Harrisburg. And it's all yours, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We'll start with the opening invocation prayers and go into the class discussion. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribo, Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribo. Jayam Vishnupat Paramhamsa Parigvaracharya Stota Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupat Paramhamsa Parigvaracharya Stota Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Iskan Panda Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nita Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. All glory to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Dutta Swami Namani. Namaste Krishna Padaya Pavajas Atmane Sri Gaura Kana Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Namani. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavari Pachatya Deshatarine. As we mentioned, that we are going to be continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, verse 42, and the chapter is entitled The Punishment and Reward of Kali. I will chant the verse 3 times, and I request devotees to please recite after me. Virshasya nastam trinpadan Tapashokam dayam iti pratisandhada asvasya mahim cha samavardhayat virshasya nashtam trindvadan tapasocham dayam iti pratisandhada asvasya mahim cha samavardhayat Virshasya nashtam trinpadan tapachocham dayamiti pratisandhada asvasya mahim cha samavardhayat.
Vishasya nashtam trinpadan tapasocham dayamiti pratisandhada asvasya mahim cha samavadhayat.
Hare Krishna. Vrishyasya nashtam strimpadan tapaha shaucham dayamiti pratisandhad ashvasya mahim cha samavardhayat.
वृषश्च नष्टां स्त्रीन् पादान् तपःशौचं दयामिति प्रतिसन्धद्ध आश्वाश्च महिं च समवर्धयत्. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else would like to try?
वृक्षस्य नष्टदास्त्रीणां पदान् तपः शौचं दयामिति प्रतिसन्दद आश्वासे महीं च संवर्धयत. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. We will chant the synonyms and go into the translation and purport. Virvasya, of the bull, the personality of religion. Nashtan, lost. Trin, three. Padan, legs. Tapaha, austerity. Chaucham, cleanliness. Dayam, mercy. Iti, thus. Pratisandade, re-established. Ashvasya, by encouraging activities. Mahim, the earth. Cha, end. Samavardhayat, perfectly improve. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thereafter, the king re-established the lost legs of the personality of religion, the bull, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. Srila Prabhupada's purport. By designating particular places for the personality of Kali, Maharaj Parikshit practically cheated Kali. In the presence of Kali, Dharma in the shape of a bull and the earth in the shape of a cow, he could actually estimate the general condition of his kingdom. And therefore, he at once took proper steps to re-establish the legs of the bull, namely austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. And for the general benefit of the people of the world, he saw that the gold stock might be employed for stabilization. Gold is certainly a generator of falsity, intoxication, prostitution, enmity, and violence. But under the guidance of a proper king or a public leader, or a brahmana or sannyasi, the same gold can be properly utilized to re-establish the lost legs of the bull, the personality of religion. Maharaj Parikshit, therefore, like his grandfather Arjuna, collected all illicit gold kept for the propensities of Kali and employed it in the Sankirtan Yagna as per the instructions of the Srimad Bhagavatam. As we have suggested before, once accumulated wealth may be divided into three parts for distribution, namely 50% for the service of the Lord, 25% for the family members, and 25% for personal necessities. Spending 50% for the service of the Lord or for propagation of spiritual knowledge in society by way of the Sankirtan Yagna is the maximum display of human mercy. People of the world are generally in darkness regarding spiritual knowledge, especially in regard to the devotional service of the Lord. And therefore, to propagate the systematic transcendental knowledge of devotional service is the greatest mercy that one can show in this world. When everyone is taught to sacrifice 50% of his accumulated gold for the Lord's service, certainly austerity, cleanliness, and mercy automatically ensue. And thus the lost three legs of the personality of religion are automatically established. When there is sufficient austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, naturally Mother Earth is completely satisfied, and there is very little chance for Kali to infiltrate the structure of human society. Om Agyanatimirandhyasya Gyana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmalitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The translation. Thereafter, the king re-established the lost legs of the personality of religion, the bull, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. This was an interesting verse and purport for me to really prepare on. I had to really find key points that struck out for me, my realization and my understanding. So what I'm going to be sharing today is first by the mercy of my spiritual master and by Srila Prabhupada and Guru Gauranga, but also what I got out of it and what stood out for me. So from this verse, my realization, my understanding was how money and time should be used in the proper activities. How should our money and our time be used in the proper activities, like we have seen in the purport, in the translation, Srila Prabhupada said that Maharaj Parikshit encouraged activities to sufficiently improve the condition of the earth. So as a leader, as a king, as the pure devotee of the Lord, he established and encouraged activities to improve the condition of the earth. So I said, wow, that's a pretty powerful statement that Prabhupada is teaching us and is telling us and instructing us how to use money, our money, and our time in spreading, propagating. Propagating means spreading, sharing. Spreading Krishna consciousness to everyone. So here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada also mentions spending 50% for the service of the Lord or for propagation of spiritual knowledge in society by way of Sankirtan Yagna is the maximum display of human service. Such a promising statement by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is telling us, if we give 50% of our time and money in propagating spiritual knowledge, in engaging people in devotional service, that is the maximum display of human service, human mercy, maximum display. So this is a time for us to evaluate, what are we doing with our time? What are we doing with our money? Is our time being used in the proper way? Is our time being used in the right activities? Is our time being used in Krishna conscious activities? Is our money being used in what we need, not what we want? Is it being used in service of the Lord? Is it being used in taking care of our family, not just spending? Is it being used in making sure that our family's needs are met? See, whenever we hear people talk about, this is what my family need, they always say, am I meeting my family's needs, not wants? Very important point. Because if we frivolously spend money in what we want more than what we need, we are actually wasting Krishna's energy. Because that money is Lakshmi Devi. And Lakshmi Devi is an eternal servant and consort of the Lord. We cannot waste her like that. It has to be used in the proper way. It has to be used in Krishna's service. When we have family members that have been given to us by the Lord, we use that money to take care of our family and to meet their needs, not just their wants. Very important point. A comfortable home, vehicle that can go back and forth, right? Clothing to clothe us, food to eat, roof over our shelter. I don't know if this is a common phrase now, but in the, when I was growing up, it was a very common statement to say, all I need is food on the table and roof over my head. When we are going through such difficult times, we say, Krishna, I just need food on the table and roof over my head. But now the greed is so high that we are not satisfied with the roof. We want a bungalow, we want this, we want that, we want this. Sense gratification. We are wasting Krishna's energy. We are wasting Krishna's money. And it's very, very sad to see how people are wasting the Lord's money just for the sake of sense gratification. And Srila Prabhupada is giving us a powerful, powerful promise. If we just give 50% of our time and money to Krishna's service, activities in engaging in Krishna's service and propagating, spreading and sharing the spiritual knowledge, that is the maximum display of human mercy. What more do we need? So here Srila Prabhupada is telling us, give half of what you have towards the service of the Lord and towards spreading the spiritual knowledge by Sankirtan Yagna, Harinam Sankirtan. That is the maximum mercy that we can show to mankind. If we want to do any gift, if we want to give anything to the Lord, if we want to give anything to mankind, the best thing that we can do is give half of our time and ourselves and our money, whatever, to the service of the Lord and to spread the signs of Krishna consciousness. If you remember Prabhupada's pastimes, and that's why I always am a strong believer and not a believer more, but more of an advocate, that is very important for devotees to read the Prabhupada Lilamrita. Prabhupada, when he was a sannyasi in India, just to save one anna, I think it's like a couple of pennies. I don't think it does that worth right now because of the exchange rate. But we're talking about 1940s, 1950s. Just to save one anna, to print the books that his spiritual master gave the instruction, he would not catch a bus. He won't catch a rickshaw. He would walk 1 mile from the temple to the printer just to save one anna. Because why? He says, this is all I have. My Guru Maharaj gave me the instruction. When you have money, print books. When you have money, print books. And when someone has one anna, I will use a lame example. When someone has a quarter, and that's all they have, to them, that 1 quarter is $1 million. And they will do everything to save that 1 quarter and not misuse it. And that's what Srila Prabhupada did. And just to save that 1 penny for the printing of the books that we have on our shelf today, he walked 1 mile because he didn't want to spend that penny on bus fare and rickshaw, because it has to go into printing. And by Srila Prabhupada saving every penny and walking 1 mile or so from the temple to the printer, we have what we have today, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What to speak of what we have? We don't have 1 quarter. We have 10,000 quarters in our bank accounts. 10,000 quarters in our pockets, in our backpack, in our handbags, in our wallet, in our purse, in our piggy bank. We have so much, and yet we hesitate to give. And here, Srila Prabhupada had only 1 penny, and he said, but that was my Guru Maharaj instructions. And look what we have in our bookshelves. Whenever we look on our bookshelves and we see Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the books, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, all the paperbacks that Srila Prabhupada preached, we should get goosebumps and say, Srila Prabhupada, you walked 1 mile every single day to save that one anna just to print these books for us, and our bookshelves are filled of these books only by Srila Prabhupada, sacrificing that 1 penny. We should open our storehouse of bank accounts for what Srila Prabhupada did for us. We shouldn't hesitate. We should never hold back. We should never hold back, because Prabhupada did not. He sacrificed his time and his money. Prabhupada was a firm, exemplary example, the perfect ambassador to show what it means to give time and money in service to the Lord and propagating spiritual knowledge to the society by means of Nam Sankirtan. He was the perfect example, pure devotee of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada continues to tell us that people are living in darkness. And we all know what's it like to live in darkness, right? When we turn off the light at nights, right? When we turn off the light in the room, it's complete dark. We cannot see anything. Even when we try to maneuver around the bed, we'll bump our legs at the corner of the bedstand, we'll bump our legs at the corner of the dresser, or the chest of drawers, or the desk, or the ironing board, something, because we can't see until we turn the light on. Similarly, everything is black around us, and everyone is living in darkness. So when everything is black and dark, how do we know whether what we are turning on or what we are bumping into is right or wrong? We can't see. If you remember the pastime of Bilva Mangala Thakur, I'm yet to do the drama in our temple. I've always had a small wish and a small desire to really manifest the Bilva Mangala Thakur. It's actually about an hour to an hour and a half drama, but a beautiful drama. Hopefully we can manifest that soon. But when I saw that drama performed and enacted in Gitanagari, I want to say it was probably in 2000 or 2001, 2002, around there. The whole temple was pin drop silence. It was such a moving drama that at the end of the drama, every devotee had a wet face. Why? Tears. It was that powerful. So going back to this pastime of Bilva Mangala Thakur, he was so attached to seeing the prostitute. He was so attached to visiting the prostitute. He was so attached to going to her house and enjoying sense gratification that he would go, when it's pouring rain, he took the risk to walk through rushing waters in the river, floods, and climbed over walls and holding on to what he thought was a rope, but it was a snake. He climbed over the walls just to get to the house of the prostitute, holding on to branches, thinking that it was a branch or a rope, but it was a snake. Why? Because he was covered with complete darkness. And he couldn't even tell that what he was holding on, was it a rope, a branch, or a snake? And it was a snake. Because he had that much darkness in his whole body, mind, ego, eyes, everything. When he went to the prostitute's home, and the prostitute was so shocked to see him, And he said, "You're what's such a fool? Why would you come and see me in this rain? It's dangerous outside. Thunderstorms, lightning, rushing waters, floods, everything, just to come see me? You had that much determination?" The prostitute said, "If you had a little bit of that determination for spiritual life, you'll be in cloud 9. He was completely covered in darkness. And the prostitute had to give him enlightenment. The prostitute had to give him spiritual knowledge. She opened his eyes because he was completely covered with darkness and ignorance. And what did he do? He took the hairpins from the prostitute's hair and pierced his eyes. I don't want to see anything. I just want to see the Lord. We should have that much determination. Similarly, we have been given the torchlight. By whom? By Guru. By the mercy of the Lord. By the mercy of the spiritual master, we have been given the torchlight of spiritual knowledge. And it is our duty to take that torchlight and light it to everyone. You know, when we see this Olympics games, right? I think it's every 4 years or something like that, or 5 years, whatever. And they have someone, I don't know who the person is, but someone would be running down and carrying the torchlight of the Olympics. And they would go up and they would light the huge furnace with the torch, right? So they're passing the torchlight and lighting the whole stadium up, right? With that torchlight symbol. Similarly, we have been given the torchlight of spiritual knowledge. And it's our duty to share that torchlight of spiritual knowledge to everyone. Especially, now Srila Prabhupada used the word, especially regarding devotional service. Now, why did Srila Prabhupada, and I had to meditate on that yesterday. I said, why did Srila Prabhupada say, especially regarding devotional service? And then I realized, yes, why? It is because of devotional service that our mind, our body, and our senses are engaged in devotional service, right? When we are sweeping, we are using our body, we are using our senses, and we're using our mind to clean and sweep and wash and mop, right? That is devotional service, because when we perform devotional service, we are engaging our mind, our body, and our senses. Thinking and serving how to make it better, how to make it better, how to make it better. We are always thinking how to improve, and that is devotional service. Devotional service is always how to do it better, how to improve, how to improve, how to improve. Because devotional service, Srila Prabhupada says, it is the greatest mercy one can show in this world. We are very, very, very fortunate to be engaged in devotional service. Very fortunate, extremely fortunate, because devotional service is none other than Krishna himself. Krishna, the deity, Krishna, the Murti, Krishna, the book, the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, the holy name, Krishna, the devotional service is the same as Krishna, the deity. It's none different. So for us to be engaged in devotional service, which is Krishna's personification, is Krishna himself, wow, it's such great fortune. We should be thankful that, whoa, I got to do devotional service. And that's the reason why we were always told by our seniors and our spiritual masters, when service comes knocking on our door, don't close the door. Of course, if we genuinely don't have the time, if it's for genuine reasons, I don't have the time, whatever, realistic, genuine reasons, that's okay. But if it's because that we don't want to use our time, as Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here, we have to use 50% of our time and money, right? Time. Put the money part aside for now, just the time. If we are not engaging 50% of our time in Krishna consciousness, then we have to evaluate, where is my time going then? Where am I wasting my time in? What is my time being used for? If it's used for raising my family, good. If it's used for taking care of my family's needs, good, because the family is given to us by the Supreme Lord himself. If it's used in reading Krishna consciousness, wonderful. If it's used for chanting, perfect. If it's used for cooking and serving the Lord, wonderful. If it's used for cleaning his temple, great. But if it's used for just time pass, movies, shopping, gossiping, or just not doing anything, being a couch potato, then we are wasting Krishna's time. Because time is Kala. Kala is Krishna. Even the time is Krishna. Because Krishna can take the time away from us at any time. I mean, he's the one that made us come to this earth. He's the one that says, it's time for you to leave time for death, right? Our time of death is all determined by the Lord. The Lord can take us at any time because the Lord is time himself. So when time is Krishna, that means we should be using time very carefully. Very, very, very carefully. Use it in Krishna's service and in propagating Krishna consciousness. So if everyone is taught to sacrifice their time and money in Krishna's service, whether it be engaging in devotional service, whether it be spreading the teaching of the Lord Chaitanya, book distribution, Harinam Sankirtan, preaching, spreading the holy name of the Lord. If we remember what Chandamali Swami says yesterday, it is very possible to push back the effects of Kali Yuga and to bring in austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. And that's exactly what Maharaj Parikshit did. He encouraged activities to improve the condition of the earth. So imagine if 10 of us were to give half of our time and money in Krishna's service, we will see wonders. We will see Krishna magic. We will see truthfulness coming back, mercy coming back, cleanliness coming back, austerity coming back. We will see lack, and all these are equal to the 4 rules and regulation. No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. If we spread the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to every town and village, right? If we give half of our time and money in spreading the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to every town and village, we can definitely reduce meat eating. We can definitely reduce intoxication. We can definitely reduce gambling. And we can definitely reduce illicit sex. This will push back the effects of Kali Yuga. So Maharaj Parikshit did that. He taught his people. He encouraged such activities. And we have to do the same. And if we go back to Srila Prabhupada's first mission that he wrote 7 purposes for ISKCON's mission. And what is the first mission that Srila Prabhupada stated? To systematically, he didn't say khichdi, he didn't say haphazard, he didn't say whimsically. Systematically, there is a system. What is system? Structure, protocol, standard, procedure, step by step system to systematically propagate. What does propagate means? To spread. To systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to the society at large and to educate. What does educate mean? To teach and to train, to educate all people and the techniques of spiritual life in order to check the imbalance of values in life and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. And this can happen if we give half of our time and money, half of what we have in Krishna service, especially the time factor. Krishna service, engaging in devotional service, Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution, spreading the holy name of the Lord, doing service at the temple. There's always something to do in the temple. Never a bore moment. If we can do that, wow, we can definitely teach and train and educate people how to apply the techniques of the simple living higher thinking so that we can bring back austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, which will bring real unity and peace in this world. So it's really amazing that Maharaj Parikshit did that 5,000 years ago, and Srila Prabhupada brought these teachings in the 7 purposes of ISKCON's mission in 1965. Wonderful. I mean, wow, right? That is why Srila Prabhupada is the perfect ambassador, pure devotee of the Lord. He gave these books for us. He was the perfect example of giving everything, money and time. He didn't give half, he gave all. He gave everything. Even as a grihastha, when he had a family of children, he was still serving the devotees. He was still giving his time and his money. Even as a grihastha, even as a family man with wife and children, he did that. He never stopped his service for the Lord. He gave more than half his time and money. So this was my realization, what I got from the verse. This is what I gathered. This was my understanding, that in a gist, Srila Prabhupada is telling us how important it is for us to use our time and money in spreading Krishna consciousness to everyone, because that is the greatest mercy that we can give to mankind. Our time and our money. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you very much.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, nice lecture, so much that you reminded us. Devotees, please unmute. If you want to ask a question, you can do that. It's the time to do that. Or if you have takeaways, you can share. And then there's some realizations that you've got from this also, you can share at this time. So anyone that wants to begin sharing or ask a question or talking about some takeaways can do so right now. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, Dandat Pranam, Jai Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful, wonderful class. Very nice emphasis on the how merciful we are. Yeah, it's my one of the takeaway. It's very good, our good fortune to get the opportunity to engage in devotional service. It is so many places explained in the Shastras. I would just I always prepare for, when right now Bhadra Purnima is going, and there is mention, in order to come in contact with Srimad Bhagavatam, one has to do the millions life of pious activity, then one comes to then contact with Srimad Bhagavatam.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a shloka also. I wanted to read if I
Please, Prabhu, please.
but yeah, I think this is shloka. जन्मांतरे भवेत पुण्यम तदा भागवतम लभेत. जब मनुष्य की या जन्मांतर भवेत पुण्य तदा भागवतम लभेत means like when he has like so many births of pious activity, then he gets in contact with the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Wow.
Another shloka is pralayam hi gamishanti Srimad Bhagavat dhvane kalera dosha ime sarva sinha shabdat vukaiva. Like when what is the importance of this spirituality or the importance of Bhagavatam? Like when the lion roars in the forest, how all the things get cleared. Similarly, when we associate with the spiritual knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kali dosh, like the contamination of this Kali Yuga, runs away.
Wow.
So that was my takeaway. Like it's
Thank you
very
so
good
much, Prabhu.
opportunity. Yeah.
We are very fortunate, Prabhu. Very, 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 very fortunate. I mean, yeah, really grateful. And all by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, what he went through to bring the Bhagavatam to us. It's just amazing. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Left the chat, something in the chat, but anyway, yes, devotees, if you have some more questions, if you have some more realizations to take away, please unmute yourself and share that also. I've requested Ichigo Prabhu to share the references for the two quotes if you can. So
yeah, they are very powerful quotes. Very
Yeah.
powerful quotes.
About Srimad Bhagavatam is wonderful. I have some takeaways. Of course, how to use time and money in Krishna consciousness propagation and spreading Krishna consciousness. In many, many places, this has been mentioned, 50% of our savings should be used for Krishna consciousness. That is, in fact, the formula from Srila Rupa Goswami. This is Rupa Goswami. You know who trained Rupa Goswami and who he's a disciple of. That's Lord Chaitanya himself. So if he's saying that Lord Chaitanya, which master is representative of Krishna, so Rupa Goswami says use 50%, and we should endeavor to get to that point of using it. And we should also introspect. We're talking about our time and money. And that money should be used for family needs, not just wants, because businesses are trying very hard through advertisement to try us to get us to buy things that we really don't need. And I remember when COVID-19 hit, the pandemic hit, and people got scared, and how were they going to live? And maybe to get to a point where we get shut down and we can't come out. What would we need? The first time Americans started thinking about what they would need. And when they went to the stores, they were buying what they knew they would need, and that was food and medicine. And those were the things that were very serious about getting: food and medicine, televisions, and all other kinds of stuff that were all in the stores. And I saw this. It was very, 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 very stark. It was just, you couldn't believe it. I went to Sam's Club, a wholesale club, and the food and the medicine are on one half of the way the place has been arranged, and the televisions and the other toys and all so other things were in the other half. And everybody that was there was on one half of the store, the food side and the medicine side. And of course, whatever they needed to protect themselves. And the place where the televisions and the printers and all that, nobody was there except, of course, the salespeople that have to sell. That's their job to stay there. And so it was obvious people do know what they need, but then they get advertised with extra money we spend for wants that we really don't need. And the point you made about Bhimamangala Thakur was also very, 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 very important. That we have so much there if we're determined, if we're really determined to achieve a particular goal, we go all out, taking all kinds of risks to achieve that goal. And if we had just that kind of attitude towards Krishna consciousness, how much we will grow and how pure, how much, how quicker will we get to the pace of, or the place of purity. And that also reminds me about one thing about how, and I don't do that much anymore, but I used to watch football way back when. And the way the players play, they just put their whole bodies to it. So much that they have to move a ball a few yards forward and they finally get to one place, one side of the field called the end zone. And the effort that people put in. And I was just talking to one of my god sisters, much older lady who's now left her body, Mother Ndrani. I was in Maryland at the time. And I was telling her, when I mentioned, it was just her and me discussing. And when I mentioned football, she immediately got turned off. But I could see in her face, she didn't want to hear anything about football. But when I talked about the effort that people put in, I said, well, Ndrani, if I had like 10% of the kind of effort that people put, then she really began to pay attention. How much growth that will come in Christian consciousness. And she really agreed because, she was born in this country. She knew what football was about. But the effort that people put in, we have to put in so much effort because that would increase our love. If we just do it anyway, it would increase our love for Krishna. That's some of my takeaways and realizations from this lecture. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, it's all about it's our determination, our effort. I was talking to when you mentioned this, I was talking a few months back when Kratu Prabhu came with Mother Amrita Mataji. And after the class, I went to see her. And there were 2-3 of us, Matajis that were talking to Amrita Mataji. And she made a very strong statement. And I always remember that. She says, we have to desire the right desire. Something like that. Probably Dear Krishna can correct me, Prabhu, if I'm saying it correctly. But the way she said it is, even when we desire, we have to desire right. Something like that she was saying. And I'm thinking how much that shows the, that we have to, we want to have, we need to have the desire to want to, desire to desire right. Thank you. That's what it is. Yes, desire to desire right. So we want to desire right for Krishna consciousness, to desire right, to grow in Krishna consciousness, to really improve in our spiritual life, to really want to have that strong desire, the right desire that I want to serve, I want to engage my time, my life, everything for the Lord's service, to share that mercy with mankind. That desire is so important. That right desire. Yeah, desire to desire right. Thank you for sharing that, Krishna Prabhu. Thank you. Anyone else I would like to hear from? Any feedback, any takeaway, any reflections, any thoughts that they have? Please do unmute yourself, or you can put it in the post and share. I would be happy to read it out so that we all can benefit and learn from it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. When we talk more,
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, he's still typing his comment. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, so we'll add more to it a little later. In the meantime, anyone else that feels so inclined to share, you can talk about your realizations. What makes it very interesting when it comes, because we're a family. When we share what we've learned and connect to the things that happened in our lives that we don't feel ashamed or we're inclined to talk about, believe me, it's quite inspirational, and a lot of people can learn from it as it happened. Today is Friday, but yesterday, Maharaj Chandamali Swami was on and he was preaching, and so many thoughts came, and something we shared about how the holy name really was, the holy name actually woke up somebody who would have taken their lives, but they just heard the holy name blasting through the speakers in Rath Theatre and City Island and Harrisburg. And they came curious to find out what was happening. And then when she met one of the devotees who described what was going on and talked about Krishna consciousness, that changed this person's mind. And now she takes Krishna consciousness seriously. And so many things can happen. I think there is a question in the chat that's from Xavier. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. What are tips to overcome complacency? Okay.
So the tips, that's a nice question, Xavier. Thank you for asking. And it's a common thing that many of us struggle and we fight. If we want to become achievers, we hang out with achievers. So in order to overcome complacency, we have to hang out with those who are not complacent. And that is the point of desire, determination, and the drive and the effort. So if we want to overcome complacency, we have to associate with those who are not complacent. For example, if we want to become doctors going to medical school, we go to medical school and we hang out with medical students. Only then can we learn to become a medical doctor, So the same thing applies in everyday life. If we want, like if you think about high school kids, right? And many of us have experienced this, and that's why parents are always concerned to make sure that their peers in school are the good ones, the smarties, not the bad ones. Because why? Because we're very concerned that if our children who are in school, whether it be elementary, middle school, or grade or high school, when they are not in good association, they pick up the bad habits. But when they are in the good friend circle, then they pick up the good habits and they even do well in school. So same thing with complacency is if we want to not be complacent, then we have to make extra effort, extra determination, and strong desire to associate with people who are not complacent. Then we automatically pick up that habit. That's how it works. I hope that helped, Xavier. That is a surefire, method that works. Absolutely.
Hare Krishna. And dear Krishna Prabhu also added some to this, and I'll read what it all comes to. This is still tips to overcome complacency. Shorab also has a question, but I'll read dear Krishna's response. It all comes to desire. We jivas as marginal energy can either keep getting trapped in the material world if it so desires, or uplift to spiritual world if that is the desire. Which means if we want to really go to the spiritual world and we desire that, yes, that can be there, or not, then of course that traps us in the material world. So he continues to say we can have the best spiritual institution, the best spiritual master, best environment, but if the desire is not there, then Krishna will take away all that.
Yep.
So definitely hanging out, as you were told, David, about with those who are fixed up, that would definitely help us in our habits. Develop good habits, because they have good habits. So if you hang out with them, all you have to do is imitate what they do, and you'll be doing the right thing also.
And there Krishna added,
yeah, as Adam said, that's why sometimes we see why some devotees develop the tendency to criticize a spiritual institution or temple or congregation, and then go away. Yeah, it is because the desires is not really the proper desires. One of the things that we need to understand, if I can add to it, is that some people tend to criticize the institution, and especially the institution that we're in. You've done this, you've done this, you've done that. Yeah, but the institution is full of people who are not perfect. The institution's aim is to purify. And so when you see that something is going wrong with somebody, then it is on you to either help them if you can, or say to someone who the person respects what is going on with that person, so that the person that is respected would in fact take up the problem of helping that other person. It all is about compassion, how we want to help each other. And so that's there. It's not the institution. We make the institution what it is. We make the institution what it is. As a matter of fact, it's the people that make the age.
Yeah.
So we have to, in that sense, put it on ourselves to make sure things are corrected.
Yes. I don't want to forget Saurabh's question because it's going to get lost. So I'm going to go back to his question. He says, I might have right desires, but what does it take to change so that we do right things or act right? We should always understand, Saurabh, that we are practicing on the Vaidhi Bhakti level. And Vaidhi Bhakti level literally means following the rules and regulations, taking instructions from seniors and spiritual master, and following, what was been told to us. So in order to know if we need to change, and if we think, well, okay, I might have the right desire, but then what if is it right? Is it not right? And if I need to change, how should I change? Always consult with a senior devotee or the spiritual master. And sometimes to change means we have to come out of our comfort zone. Because see, the human nature, the human tendency is, I've done it this way, I'll do this every day, and that's all I know. Like I come across people where I go from point A to point B by taking Route 81, and that's the only highway I know. I'm not taking any other route. And even if that's an accident, I'll only took only that highway, right? Because they don't want to come out of the comfort zone. It's very hard to change them. But if they took a different highway to get to work, when this, if they always take one highway to go to work, because that's the only highway they want to do and they don't want to change, and suppose one day there's an accident and they're stuck in that and they got to work 15 minutes late. Now, had they changed and knew about the other highway, it would have saved their time. Yes, it might mean they have to leave the house 5 minutes early, but it means that where can we save time, right? Not just waste time. So in Krishna consciousness, if you want to change something, we have to come out of our comfort zone. We have to come out of the norm sometimes. See, Krishna consciousness is very scientific. It's very, very scientific. It is not sentimentalism. It's not emotionalism. It is not mushy, wishy-washy. It's very, very scientific. It's literally cause and effect. What we do is the end result. What we don't do, that's the end result. If we change, what's the result? If we don't change, what's the result? It's completely a cause and effect, very scientific. So if we want to change, we have to come out of our comfort zone. And we need the guidance of the spiritual master and the seniors. I want to change this behavior. How do I do it? And the main thing is, once we ask, I want to have the right desire, but I think I need to change how I'm desiring, what should I do? When we receive that instructions, we should receive it with an open mind and say, oh, but this, oh, but that, oh, but this. Remove the if, buts, and ends. Receive the information with an open mind and an open heart and act on it. I remember my spiritual master, I would say a couple of years before he left the planet. I want to say it was either 2003 or 2002. He was so furious and upset with his disciples that he literally got so angry, and he said, many of you are not changing, and I'm sick and tired of it because you are too comfortable in what you are doing. You are not coming out and making a change. See, if we think about karmis, for example, right? When they want to make a difference, they make a change. If you look at political leaders, known celebrities or whatever, people that are public figures, lack of a better word, right? When they want to make a statement, they make a change. It might be out of the norm, but they make a change, and it's very obvious that it catches attention and people just follow it, right? So same concept in Krishna consciousness. We need to come out of our comfort zone, make a difference for Krishna's service. And when we get that instruction, we have to have a very open mind and heart and say, let me listen, because my way didn't work. So let me try someone else's way. Let me listen and really follow the instructions and make a change to desire right. I hope that helped, Saurabh. I hope that helped.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful response. Hopefully it helps. Yeah, sure. There's one more in the chat, and this is from iPhone, because she's left iPhone, so I'll just say.
Yeah, Preeti Mataji.
That's okay.
Yes.
Very, very important question that she was asking. How can we tell that our desire is right in a spiritual way?
Two ways.
How can we tell desire is right in a spiritual way?
Two ways. One is when we have a desire that we don't know whether it's right or wrong, always consult with a senior devotee and a spiritual master to ask them, you know, I thought of this, is this the right way? I thought of that, is that a right way? For example, one devotee recently came up to me, I would say probably in the last couple of weeks. And this person wanted to do something for the deities. Her desire was right because she wanted to do it for the deities, but the end result was not correct. So what I had to tell her was, because I knew that this person wanted to do a very nice service for the deities, I had to make a change. So I told her the desire is very right, but this is the right way to do it. So this person had a very good desire that I want to do this for the deities, but I have to switch it around a little bit so that it's acceptable to the Lord. And that's what the person did. So sometimes we need to take instructions and we need to say, no, I want to do this. Is this okay? I want to do that. Is that the right way to do? Always ask a senior devotee and the spiritual master that this is what I want to do. Is that the right way to do? And they will tell you, your desire is right, but the way is not right. And they will guide us. It's very, very important to really make sure that we take instructions from the spiritual master and from the senior devotees to know what we're doing is right, and to make sure that our desire is to please the Lord. Our desires should always be, is it pleasing to Krishna? Is it pleasing the Lord? Is it pleasing the devotees? Every time we think it's pleasing the Lord, but what about the devotees? And Krishna says, if you please my devotees, you have pleased me. So sometimes we think, okay, let me please the Lord first, the devotees are second. That is not how, that's not what Krishna says. Krishna says, you please my devotees, I'm automatically pleased. So we want to please the Lord. That's why we say to please the Lord and his devotees, not only the Lord. And sometimes when we cook something, right, we don't know if the Lord is liking it because, we are not at that level to know. But when we see the devotees, oh, Mataji, sabji was awesome, then Krishna was very pleased. So and just as what the Krishna says, Sri Prabhupada, first get qualified, then desire. Exactly. First, we have to be qualified. And how do we become qualified? By engaging in devotional service and by following the instructions of the seniors and the spiritual master, and by following the Vaidhi Bhakti method. For example, like if someone says, and I'll use a very simple example, like say my family, 2 kids, so some of us, like there's a certain prep that we don't like. I like a certain dish, my husband doesn't like it, my daughters don't like it. So I'm not going to cook it because I know they won't eat it, but it's a dish. So how can I make that dish a little different so everybody likes it, right? The right way to do it. So yes, we first have to be qualified. So how do we become qualified? We first become qualified by following the instructions of the seniors and the spiritual master, taking their guidance, taking their, their feedback, their instructions, everything, so that we do it right. And once we learn the right way to do it, then we know how to desire right. In the beginning stages, we won't know how to desire because we all learn like a baby. The baby and the child wants to go everywhere. Bump to the flower pot, bump to the altar, bump in the they want to bump everywhere. So they say, but I want to go there, but they don't know how to go there, but they'll bump everything. So we as parents need to show them, this is how you go. So once they have learned the method, then slowly they'll learn, okay, mommy says to go there, I have to go this way. So we have to first follow, because we are all still in baby stages. Learn to follow the instructions of the seniors and the spiritual master and follow the right way. Once we know the Vaidhi Bhakti, the rules and regulations, then we know how to desire right. That's how that should be done. And thank you for that post, dear Krishna. That helped me a lot in my response. So thank you so much. And I hope that helped, Preeti Mataji. I hope that helped.
Right, Hare Krishna. So, any other questions or comments or
Yeah, we
takeaways?
passed the mark. I don't want to, yeah.
All right, if there's not, then we thank all of you for coming for this morning's. There's good attendance and there's also good discussion, which always makes the lecture and the association very, very, very nice.
And sweet.
So yeah, and sweet also. So devotees, tomorrow there's the annual Janmashtami and Rajashtami in Reading, and it starts at 4 o'clock. And I think the last time I read an email, it might go to 9 thereabouts, 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., 4 in the afternoon. Please give the time, and it's always a wonderful, wonderful program. Very well attended, so please don't miss it. In Reading tomorrow afternoon. So of course we have our Sunday program. Starts at 4:30 in Harrisburg Temple. So have a nice weekend. Hopefully we'll see you in Reading. We'll see you in Harrisburg at the temple. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripa sinibhye evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishyavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. And if you want more information, please contact for tomorrow. That is, if you don't have the email or haven't seen it yet, then you can contact most.
Dear Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, Dear Krishna Prabhu, myself, or Madam Anasuya will tell you, or will forward what the program is in terms of the address and so on. We can forward that to you. Hare Krishna. Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hari
Hare
Bo.
Krishna. Jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hari
Krishna. Bless you,
Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare